to the conduct of elections in Nigeria is logistics. To deploy personnel and materials from state offices to 774 local government areas, 8,809 electoral wards, and 119,973 polling units is a huge undertaking. In Nigeria, only INEC undertakes such a huge nationwide deployment and retrieval of personnel and materials twice within a short period of 2 weeks. No other agency in Nigeria embarks on this kind of huge undertaking. Now, this is the task that must be accomplished in the next 65 days for presidential and National Assembly elections scheduled for 16th February 2019 and governorship and state assembly elections, as well as the area council elections in the Federal Capital Territory on the 2nd of March 2019. We want to reassure Nigerians that we are determined that all polling units nationwide shall open by 8 in the morning. We are determined to give Nigerians a pleasant voting experience in the 2019 general elections. We have been working hard to ensure that personnel and materials will be on location awaiting the arrival of voters. In order to achieve this commitment, INEC requires, in our estimation, over 100,000 vehicles for the 2019 general elections. The logistical requirements are beyond the internal resources of the Commission to provide. It is for this reason that the Commission has been in partnership with the National Union of Road Transport Workers, for which an MOU was signed with the union way back in January 2015. However, with the increase in the number of voters as well as political parties since the last general election, we need to increase the pool of our service providers to meet the consequential increase in the number of vehicles. Accordingly, we decided to expand our collaboration beyond the National Union of Road Transport Workers. The Memorandum of Understanding we are about to sign today is a general framework. The actual breakdown of the number of vehicles per state will be worked out at state level between officials of the unions and our resident electoral commissioners. It is therefore significant that our resident electoral commissioners, as I said earlier, are present here today to witness the formal signing of the MOU that will enable detailed work at state level. I'm also glad that the unions are represented at this meeting, not only by their national leaders, but many of their zonal and state officials as well. I expect the unions to supervise their members and branches for the full implementation of the MOU. Doing so requires working very closely with our resident electoral commissioners to ensure that the objectives of the MOU are fully realized. Members of your unions know the terrain in various parts of the country for ease of movement. We'll also require you to swear to an oath of neutrality as your participation in the delivery of electoral logistics requires absolute neutrality and impartiality. The security agencies shall escort all vehicles to locations. In addition, we shall track the movement of all vehicles electronically and real time, as we did in some of the more recent elections. I want to inform the unions that we'll not only track electronically, we'll also eavesdrop on the conversations taking place in the vehicles. So we'll know where each vehicle is. If there is a breakdown of any vehicle, we know why it has broken down, and we can respond immediately. We shall track the movement of vehicles to ensure that no personnel, no material will be diverted. They will go straight to locations where we need them. Learning from the experience of the past, I would like to appeal to the unions to ensure that there is no failure on your part, especially when it is too late for the Commission to make alternative arrangement or to hike fares and put us in a difficult situation on the eve of elections. Directing my appeal not only to members of your union, but other people that may be engaged for election duty as well, particularly the boat owners in riverine locations. I want to place on record our appreciation of the commitment of the unions to the consolidation of our electoral processes and democracy. In particular, we appreciate the sacrifice that we have made, that you have made, to ensure that materials and personnel reach designated locations, without which elections will be impossible to hold according to our plans. In the course of serving the nation, many of you have lost your vehicles to arson and vandalization arising from acts of thuggery during elections. We appreciate that these vehicles are in most cases the sole means of livelihood of your members. While we appeal to the political class to call their supporters to order, we will continue to work with the security agencies to ensure the safety of your members and the protection of your vehicles. On this note, I would like to once again express our thanks to the development partners, the Frederick Ebert Stiftung Foundation, and its resident representative, our good friend Ulrich Thum, for supporting the current MOU process and today's ceremony, in addition to supporting the processes leading to the last MOU with the National Union of Road Transport Workers in 2015. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Commission, I welcome you to the signing of this MOU, which is a further affirmation of the commitment of the Commission to ensure that the 2019 general elections is to voters a very, very pleasant experience. Polling units, and I want to give this commitment to the nation, will open at 8 a.m. nationwide. That is what we are working towards. I thank you very much.